Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and I'm here with a new video. Well, I mean, every video I put up is technically new at the time of putting it up. But this is a completely new game. It's a game called Rimworld. This thing was just successfully kickstarted. I'm a backer, and I figured, let's show you guys what's going on. So, if you haven't seen anything about this game, it's a space colony simulator. So let's go ahead, load up a new colony. And here we've got all the different difficulty levels. So we've got Chill, Cali, Classic, which is basically easy mode. We've got Cassandra Classic, which is normal. Tough Cassandra, which is, as the name implies, tough. We got Phoebe Friendly, which is easier than easy mode. We got Random Randy, and Random Randy is just a random dick. And that's all we got right now. So we're going to go ahead with Cassandra Classic and get started. So, initially, we've got 3 settlers. We've got Shields, who's a noble, a female colonist who's 67. In her childhood, she was a mid-world nerd, and in adulthood, somehow, she became a medieval lord. She's incapable of manual dumb and manual skilled, and she's a gadgeteer and chauvinistic. So, at this stage, these traits don't do anything. Incapable of means she can't do constructing, she can't do growing, she can't do mining. So, and even her social, which nobles are supposed to be good at, isn't all that hot. So we're going to go ahead and randomize. So now we've got Alvarado, the scientist, a vat-grown soldier who became a Navy scientist later in life. Incapable of caring or any social activities, claustrophobic and cowardly. Key here, though, good research, alright mining, fairly decent shooting. The rest, whatever, mid-range, we'll keep Alvarado. We got LeBlanc here, female colonist, age 17, medieval lordling, became a colony settler. Something happened there. Not incapable of anything, thankfully, despite being a medieval lordling, she is now a settler. So, yay. Jack of all trades, she's uncreative and numb. And then finally, Sanders, a vat-grown soldier who later in life became a medieval lord. His shooting's really good, actually. But the problem is not being capable of anything. Sanders would be great if she showed up a bit later on in life, or a bit later on in the colony development. But as it stands, I want to try and get good jack-of-all-trades people. So here we've got a medieval slave who became a military commissar. Pretty much, you know, usual, nothing unique. So we'll take Hudson as well. We'll click on Start, and then a world is randomly generated for the colony. So here we are. The 3 of you awake in your long sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. A few hours later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As the pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. We're going to click OK. Here we are coming in on the escape pods. And there's everybody. First thing we're going to do, we're going to collect a little bit of resources. So we can just click and drag. Pretty simple. Click or hit the F key. And now our settlers will run along and happily pick them up. So let's zoom out and take a look at our situation. So we kind of landed in a relatively defensible position. One of the things, in fact, at this stage of the game, the major thing that you need to worry about is raider attacks. So random pirates will drop down and try and attack you. So you can see here we're pretty well protected here with just 1 entry point. Here, same deal, 1 entry point. And then along here we've got a few entry points, but we've got cover around it. So this is not looking that bad of a place to start. That's for sure. So, let's get started. First thing we're going to want to build is a small little structure. So we'll go like so. And this is basically for our food. So we've got our nutrient paste collector here. This is what our colonists eat. It's, well, I don't know, nutrient paste. Certainly doesn't sound all that appetizing, but it is better than starving. And we'll go ahead, give it a metal floor. Oh, no, wait. We'll get rid of that. Can we do smooth stone here? We can. So smooth stone is a free floor, which is important at the initial starting up of the colony. You can see up in the top left of the screen here, we've got our moolah, we got a grand, we got 50 food, and we've got 322 metal. Everything that you build costs metal. Settlers obviously eat food, and money you make later on. At the initial stages of the colony, doesn't really matter that much. Another thing I'm going to want to do right away is get some growing areas up, because, hey, people got to eat. And we'll just spin that around and slap one in there. So, we'll go take a look at our overview of the colony on the overview tab there. You can see we got our 3 people here, and all the jobs are assigned to do. So right now everybody's assigned to doing everything, which, you know, that's fine for now. What I might want to do, though, I think we'll be making LeBlanc here our grower, so I can just take him off constructing and take him off mining. And so now he should concentrate on getting plants in the ground, which is critical. Oh, one last thing I need to do before we get really started. I'm just going to find my best shot, and that would be Alvarado here, and equip the pistol that we start with. There we go. So now we can see little guys running around, starting to do work. We got LeBlanc going over there, working on potatoes. These two happily mining or building away. Now, while that's getting constructed, we're going to pause. We also need to worry about getting power up. Power is critical because it powers things. Strange, I know. So what I'm going to do is build a little enclosure just in the back here. Slap a door in, do some more smooth stone, and then in here we can set up a bank of batteries because we're going to go with solar power for now. There are other power sources up right here. We can see we've got a geothermal vent, so that'll let you basically get a lot of power for free. And we've got another one down there. Hopefully we'll be able to grow our colony in one of those directions, probably up there, and secure that guy. They can also be found inside caverns in mountains. So once we get into the mining game, we'll start looking for those. Anyway, let's go ahead. We'll speed up time while this initial colony gets developed. And it is raining. Currently, my colonists are sleeping outside, so, you know, hopefully nothing bad happens to them. Shouldn't, really. Okay, now we're going to put in a couple of batteries here. There we go. And you want to make sure that they can still be accessed. Things do take wear and tear. Things do get damaged. So it's, it's important that you can access those things. Alright, so you can see the colonists went over there, had a bit of a meal, and they're now helping out sowing potatoes. So what I'm going to do is get an order to mine. You can see the 2 different colors here. This will be a better location to show it. So this gold looking stuff, yeah, that's metal. That's what you use to build. This gray looking stuff, that's rock. Rock is useless. So we're going to go ahead and get mining on that so we can get some more resources. We can see this metal is still kicking around because no one's deciding to haul it away yet. But eventually they will. We might as well set a warden and our doctor. So those will come into play a bit later. But for now, we'll let them sleep. In fact, what I might do is just prioritize hauling the metal away with Hudson. There we go. So he had a rough night of moving metal, but at least we've got 229 in stock. We can start building some housing. So, let's go to structures, walls. And there's a lot of different ways that you can build housing. You can obviously connect everything together. I like going for a bit more of a individualistic housing style, although it is helpful to put everything behind a wall once you get big enough to do that. For now, though, we will probably put the housing down here. Like that. So about a 3x3 space is roughly all you need for your colonists. So we'll just go ahead, get that built, put some doors in, get the smooth stone because it's free, and hook up a power conduit. There we go. So walls also act as power conduits, which is handy dandy, but if you're building without, you need to connect them with a power conduit. So there you have it. Now this game is still an alpha. You can obviously notice the lack of any sort of music or anything. I do believe music will be added in later. That was part of the reason this project was kickstarted, but you know, it's a pretty complete game already. Like, this alpha is pretty stable. I've had it crash once on me, I think. The basic gameplay working great. So next up, we'll get some furniture and we'll slap in. Oh, well, we can get 2 beds. In fact, who's the best miner? 2, 2, 3. That's unfortunate. My grower is also my best miner. But what can you do? We'll take the other 2 off growing, and they should finish up the construction and then start mining that metal out. And we've got no food either. Oh, there we go. LeBlanc's got it. Rounding up all that tasty, tasty food. What you can also do at the initial stages, you can try and see if there's any naturally occurring plants that are ready to harvest. So you see, we got a couple of raspberry bushes and some agave. That'll be tasty. And another thing, if your settlers are eating raw food, so not food from the nutrient-based dispenser, which in my opinion works for many things, but fresh raspberries would be much better than raspberries jammed into a big vat. But if they eat it raw, so unprocessed, then they take some morale damage, which isn't good. We'll get our last bed built here, and we'll sell these 3 things. So the colonists will stop sleeping outdoors. There we go. We'll also put in a nice lamp for everybody, and we can spare it a potted plant because people like plants. Plants are nice. There we go. They're happily sleeping indoors, and they've each got their own room, which is both very critical. Nobody likes sleeping outdoors, and nobody likes sleeping in a barrack-style housing. Alright. So we got the home set up. We can see LeBlanc finishing up planting those potted plants. And now she's just running around collecting all the metal that these guys get. And we're actually getting a fair amount from that little stack there. Alright. So we can see up in the top right corner of the screen, little tips about what should be going on. So you can see here we need defenses and we've got 3 colonists idle. So you've been here sometime and have probably been seen pirate raids will start soon. So we need to start thinking about how the heck we're going to defend this place. So we've got these auto turrets, which at this stage are just, well, at any stage of the game, are basically machine gun turrets. So what you want to do is set them up in an area where they can be connected to the power, either via conduit or just plugging it in. Each electrical device, you can see with the lamps here, that little blue squiggly line, that's the power cable. So you can move them not directly on, they've got a bit of a range, but, you know, it's nothing too far. So we're going to set up one there, and I think one there. And that should have us covered, at least for the time being. I'm convinced those defenses are definitely going to change. Because, yeah, there's not two turrets poorly placed like that. Not going to be able to hold off too much. What else do we need? We could probably use a sort of a main building. So now that we've got this up, just as a temporary measure, we're going to want to build a bit bigger of a building so we can get in a comm unit and research tables. So we'll go... I want to keep that free floor. Don't need to be wasting metal on anything like that, that's for sure. So we'll go like so, and smooth out the stone. We can even do a little bit of a walking path here. We'll cut that down, and then we'll just smooth out the stone underneath it. Now, in fact, we can cancel that for now. Beauty. We're still sitting on plenty of metal. That's good. I don't know. I guess we can go and put LeBlanc on construction for now, just so she can help out. Still doing okay for food. Alright, now just... Oh, you're kidding me. Damn. Damn. Oh well. We'll just have to make do with an ugly path like that. So, we got random events. We can see the first one we're getting here is a local squirrel has gone mad, and it will attack anybody it sees. Now, unfortunately, with these rogue wildlife that happen, so it'll happen with squirrels, as we can see here. Hudson having to face that down, so we'll unlock our draft Alvarado by hitting the R button, and so now this means that I have complete control over Alvarado. I can tell him to go there, take cover, and start firing at the squirrel. And he missed, or she missed. Missed again. There we go, that's a direct hit. And... come on, squirrel, you should die soon. Nope. Not having a, an actual designated violent person, it's apparently taking quite a bit to take down this squirrel. Does not bode well for future raider attacks. So there, I've just hit the F key. You can see the little check mark there. That means the squirrel will be moved off to my dumping area, which I should have right there. So... just like the growing area, we can put a dumping area where they throw all their garbage, and then a stockpile area where they take all their things to. So there's our stockpile there, there's our dump, a couple of farms, and this bigger room is done. Excellent. We're going to structure, get a power conduit, run that. I think that will be cheaper. It will be. Yes. Now... we're going to want to take and get a research table in there. Get some lights in, because nobody likes the dark. And if we got enough, we do. We'll get a comms unit in as well. So research allows you to, surprisingly, research things. And the comms unit allows you to communicate with ships that are passing by. For purposes of things like trade. There we go. We're all set. And... we're obviously going to make our scientists do the researching. Alvarado there, 6 out of 10. We can take her off mining and construction for now. And we'll hit up our research tab. So here's all the things that we can research. We've got hydroponics, which allows you to build, surprisingly, hydroponics farms. Pneumatic picks, which makes mining more effective. Nutrient resynthesizers, which allows you to use 10% less meal, so every 10th meal is free. Kind of like a Subway gift card or something. Gun turret cooling allows 5 shots instead of 3. Blasting charges, which are little explosive things that blow up, obviously. Carpet making, which just allows you to put different colored carpet in, and carpet makes people happy. And Fear Tech 1. So there's 2 ways you can go about recruiting new colonists and sort of keeping your colonists in line. You can make them happy, or you can make them scared. And you can even do combinations of them. So that's something we'll take a look at in a bit. Once things get under, or taken off, and yeah. There we go, we'll smooth that out so there's a nice quick path to get to that last room. Alright, everyone knows that you don't want to stay on this rock for long, but Alvarado is suggesting that you give the colony a name anyway. What should it be called? We're gonna call this Nerdville. There we go. So our little unincorporated hamlet now has a name. Oh! Now, yes, you can see with these lightning strikes and the fires that are erupting out there. Thankfully, our brave colonists won't just run around trying to put out fires unless you designate an area a home zone. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just dragging out a square around the confines of the colony. So if a fire starts anywhere in here, the colonists will run to extinguish it, which is nice. And they also clean within the area of the home zone, so, you know, that blood will get cleaned up and maybe they'll also get taken to the dump. Raiders have landed. So let's jump to the location. We've got one raider, Blackwell. She's a Marine, a female drifter walking with a pistol. We can see good shooting, good melee. Nah, not much else. What I'm going to do... Whoops, unpause, is go into my buildings, nope, go into my furniture, and take a sleeping spot. In with the batteries, and I'm going to assign it for prisoners. This way, if we're lucky enough to capture Blackwell instead of just outright kill her, we can imprison her and then start working on making her a colonist. That's fun. It's the way you grow. By abducting people. It's, you know... tricky colony. So we got food coming in, we got plenty of metal. We should look at perhaps expanding the cafeteria a bit. Make this area in here just a battery bank for power, and we'll set up a new location for the people to eat. Because, you know, that's not necessary, but I like having a mess hall. Kind of adds to things, if you ask me. Oops. So we'll go like so. Like so. But that definitely too far down. So we'll just cancel that out. And I don't think I can smooth out any of that. Oops. So we'll put some paving tiles as the path. Yeah, we're probably good there. Slap in a door. And make that metal. And a power conduit. That's helpful too. Alright, so we can see the raider, Blackwell here, is done whatever preparations she needed to do, and is ready for an assault. So I'm going to take Alvarado here, the only guy with, or the only colonist with a gun. She is female, definitely not a guy, and try and get her up under some sort of cover. We'll slow down time while Blackwell comes along. It looks like she's going to come around this side, so we'll get up there. So while it looks like a pretty basic Prison architecty. Oh, we'll get you back. You are getting hit by the auto turret. Pretty basic prison architecty sort of layout. The tactical system is actually pretty good. Your colonists will do their best to find cover and shoot from cover. The shooting rating certainly does matter. Okay, that's enough jibber-jabbering for one day. We're going to take Alvardo here, and we're going to capture Blackwell. And then we're going to take, I think LeBlanc will be the next one. Go to character screen. Shooting of 3, Hudson shooting of 6. Hudson's going to equip that pistol. So we'll drag him out of bed. Come on, old man. Get over there. Perfect. Go back to bed. We can see here Alvardo is dragging Blackwell into this little room here, which is working as a makeshift prison for us. Alright. Now, I will pause the game. I will undraft Alvardo. Her work is done. And I'm going to make sure I've got a warden set up. I do. So what LeBlanc's going to do is come in and feed the prisoner. Now on the prisoner tab, we can cut off their food so they won't get fed at all. No interaction. They'll just sit there and die. That's not really what we're looking for. So we are going to feed her, and we are going to try and recruit her. You can recruit her through a number of different ways. You can do nothing, which won't help. You can do a friendly chat, which is the nice way to get her. You can do a mild beating, which I've tried before, and it does work. Although, you know, the prisoner might fight back, and then people are taking damage, and it's not the nice way to do things. A vicious beating, which I imagine is like mild, just amped up, and then execution, which just kills her. Did not helpful at all. So we'll leave it set to friendly chat. And there we go. Alvardo's going to go off and do her own thing. LeBlanc will eventually come feed Blackwell and help her out. What we're going to do, we're going to set up a house for Blackwell. Because that'll be nice to have set up before she's recruited. I don't think I can do any smooth stone in there, can I? I can do it halfway. Well, that won't work. We'll just do a full metal floor. Perfect. Now we've got this room as well, which will require flooring. How much is that going to cost? Metal floor, 60. Expensive. But we're going to do it. And, yeah. Speed up time a little bit, get it to the next day. Nope. I forgot to pick a research project. All that talking about it. We'll go with research. The gun turret cooling first. We can get firing more blasts out, which would be nice. Alright, so we can see interacting there. Got a little plate of nutrient paste. Alright, and now we can get this room furnished with a lamp and a pot, or and a plant. There we go. And now it's ready to be inhabited by Blackwell whenever she's ready to join the colony. And I think the next thing I'm going to do, order some mining here. Collect those minerals. LeBlanc's nicely planting all of those wonderful plants. And Hudson's mining while Alvardo's collecting. That's perfect. What do we got? A trade ship is passing by. They are a slave trader. So you've got a few different types of trade ships. We're going to go ahead and open communications with them. Okay. So you've got slave traders, you've got industrial traders, you've got farmers, and you've got weapon suppliers. Pretty self-explanatory what those guys do. Slave traders can trade people, weapons can trade weapons, industrial traders will have metal, and farmers will have food. Now, that's not to say that, you know, I can't trade food with slave traders or metal or things like that, but That's what's going to be their specialty. So you can see in this case, food is pretty expensive for a slave ship. Kind of makes sense. Metal is cheap, but they don't have any. Medicine is expensive. Obviously, they're going to need medicine to keep their slaves alive. And then shells and missiles. These resources are in the game to purchase, but they don't do anything. So it's, pretty useless to buy them. You can see under the People tab, we can sell prisoners. So if I wanted to, I could sell Blackwell and make 1,500 bucks off of her. We could also, if we had the money, purchase Ritter or Sellers. We can see the information of the colonists that you're interested in purchasing. So you can see here Ritter's pretty good shot. Alright miner, alright grower, alright constructor, pretty shit at everything else. And then Sellers here is great at melee, alright at shooting, and yeah, pretty much crap at everything else. So, that's that. And then weapons here, they've got no weapons to sell, we've got no weapons to sell. There's no point in trading weapons. So that's how the trade works. Obviously, I don't have the money or the resources to be purchasing people just yet. So we're going to leave it and let that ship just happily sail on. Alright, now we got some metal in here, so I'm going to go ahead and get a nutrient paste collector up. And I should also put some, put some lighting in here. It's a big room, we'll put one in each corner. Once that gets lit up, I can put a table in, and the colonists will have a nice place to go to sit and eat their nutrient paste, instead of in a dark little cramped room with a prisoner and batteries. Alright, so we're up, and we'll go ahead, spin that table around. That should give us enough room, and then start putting chairs in. We only need 4 chairs for now, because the maximum amount of people we'll have in there is 4. We'll add more later. No need to waste metal on chairs people aren't going to use. I like how we're forcing everyone to sit on the same side. What else? We have successfully recruited Blackwell. So let's take a look at the overview. Blackwell is a Marine. And these are all her skills. So, anything she's particularly good at? Probably just shooting. Yep. So we'll leave her doing whatever she's going to want to do to help the colony out. We're getting that taken care of. And I think that's going to be a good place to leave the video for now. So, we'll save the game as Nerdville. So, yeah, that's Rimworld, guys. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Even though it's more difficult for me to read now with this stupid Google Plus crap, still leave your comments. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. Thumbs up if you want to see more. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.